Can't. We gotta lead him in, and then we'll give him the surprise at the end.
Just the Yosef stuff was drama, probably worthy of an entire episode in any other season.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
This guy had the nerve to destroy Clare for a date that he was not even asked to be on for the reason that he is complaining, and torched her, really torched her.
Like, it's as if he
Did you think that was necessary?
That.
I thought he overdid it.
Listen, I think Clare is being annoying even more so by the end of this episode. I really will get there to how I feel about Clare later on in this show. But in the beginning of the episode, yeah, she's mildly annoying, but Yosef just went way too far. Like, he just became really mean and, like, just rude. It was, like, straight up disrespectful. I wanted her to destroy him, and she sent him home. So we got what we wanted.
Yeah, at one point he's like, oh, my daughter this, my daughter that. It was a lot of my daughter. And then he's yelling at her. He's not setting a very good example. I haven't liked Yosef from the beginning. I've been calling him a vampire.
Yep.
I'm going to continue to call him a vampire forever. I'm glad that he's gone, but it was just a weird way to start the episode. And like you said, I completely forgotten about him by the time we were done with it.
And you also can't throw the I'm sacrificing all of my time to be here.
That's a standard
I have
thing.
a daughter, and he literally was like, Clare,
That's a standard
Clare
thing that
said,
every
well, you know, my
parent
mom
does.
is dying.
Every
so.
single parent does that. They try to come on the show, with the exception of Amanda Stanton. Shout out to her, best mom in the world.
Loves
every
vacations.
single parent comes on, and then as soon as they're not getting enough time, which kind of happens to everybody, especially in the beginning, but the dads always end up being super vocal, being like,
just
I'm giving up time with my kids to be here, like, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and it's like, well, you came here, though, so did you not anticipate not being with your kid for all this time? Like, don't act as if you're wasting your time. You came here, you chose this.
And the whole, I was
argument.
offended by the strip dodgeball. Grow the fuck up, dude.
that.
Like, nobody
Shut
else
up.
is complaining. You weren't even on the date. Like, let it go. That seemed like something, he was just looking for something to pick at, and he didn't want to be there anymore.
Him not even being on the date was insane. For him to be so angry.
Look,
it's insane.
and I will say, like, I think there are some valid points there in the strip dodgeball, but if that was voiced by someone who actually was on the date, I understand.
Blake
but
Moynes,
this had
perhaps.
literally nothing to do with him. Like, absolutely nothing to do with him. And it looked like he was just looking for a reason to get his ass kicked off the show. I can't understand any other reason why you would absolutely go off like that in someone's face. I'm glad Clare told him off. Everything he said was honestly just disgusting.
It was vile.
It was really gross. It was really gross.
Yeah.
But of
Good
course,
riddance. Good
I was gonna
riddance.
say he's gone.
We're
but
done
of
with
course
him.
they
We're
made
over
it
him.
seem like Dale came to the rescue. He consoled her.
Out of the bushes, also.
Yeah.
She all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he comes out of the literal shadows.
Yes.
For her to cry on his
And
shoulder.
everyone on Twitter was lucky enough this week to have seen the story where he was the
Yes.
Party City
Yep.
model,
Party City
and we
model.
got him as Superman, and it looked like Twitter was all on the same page. We all tweeted the same thing. Just a very funny moment.
Listen, I hate Dale. I understand that Claire is giving him all this attention, so of course he's going to take it. I understand that producers are telling him, hey, buddy, Claire's upset. Don't you just want to swoop in there? They're telling him to do these things. I still hate him. I can't look at his face without feeling disgusted.
I like Dale. I still do.
No, I'm with you, Rhea. I hate them.
I still do.
Boo for him for that. We hate
If
not
you were
today.
in Dale's position and you're on the show and The Bachelor is giving you all the attention, your ego is through the fucking
For
roof.
sure, for
and you
sure.
are taking every chance because you're not getting shut down.
That's fair, but not to jump around, but him walking into areas where the dates are happening, so Claire catches a glimpse of him, and she's like, "Oh, there's Dale." Like that's a little different.
And
in
the
my eyes.
group
all
hug
seem
and not
drunk
being
there.
able to explain himself, like he
Well-
didn't have a coherent sentence as to what. Just say, yeah, man, I'm here for Claire. I'm gonna fight for her as much time as I can. We've seen that in past seasons.
Yeah.
People step up and say, yeah, I'm gonna take as much time as I want. He's like, well, like no, I was going to the bathroom. Like, no,
flustered.
just say you fucking want
And
Claire.
also
That's
kinda
why you're
lying.
there.
I thought all of the scenes with him like busting into the dates that Claire was already on, I thought that he seemed fucked up. Like, I don't understand the level of awkwardness just watching it on TV. I don't think I could ever walk into a date that's happening and be like, hey guys, like what's up? Can I hang out? And Claire's like, yeah, sure, come on this date with me and this one other guy. I don't understand.
Yeah.
Like how you can even
All
do
right,
that.
we'll get to the group date because there's a lot to talk about with Dale. We will say that there was a rose ceremony. It was only the second rose ceremony so far.
In
Crazy.
3 episodes.
Which
That's
is
crazy.
Yeah.
wild. The guys that went home were the other Blake, not Blake Moynes, I forget his last name.
Doesn't matter.
Garen and TBD.
Poor Professor Garen.
Don't know who the other guy.
Oh,
The
I
guy-
was like, what are you
the
talking about?
55-year-old
No
child.
idea.
The
No
man.
idea
who's
what that
bro-
means.
I don't know his name.
The man with gray hair is,
Yeah.
is
Yep,
also
they
gone.
kept showing close-ups of him. Not a clue
And
who
even
he
when
was.
he walked out, said his goodbye to Claire,
didn't
they didn't pull
put
it
his
up and be
name.
like, this is this guy's
Yeah.
name.
Nope.
They just let him go. I'll never know that guy's name.
Never.
I just won't know.
I don't think I want to know either.
No, it's
I think
better
I'm
this
all
way.
set. I never
It's better
want to
this
know.
way.
Yeah.
We really didn't had no idea, and Garen. I felt bad for Garen. He was the first guy to say, you know what, balls out, got naked for Claire,
Yeah.
and then got sent home.
It's
And he's a
tough.
professor.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
it's
he's
tough
trying
to get
to
sent
teach him
home
something,
after
and
showing
Maybe
your dick
he
to
gets to
Claire.
come
Lesson
back
failed.
though.
Yeah,
Maybe.
Maybe he gets
Good
to come
point.
back.
Zombie contestants. I'm
that
very
would be
excited for
nice.
those.
That would be nice.
'Cause, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Okay, the group date. First of all, I don't know what's been going on with like the decision making behind these dates. I understand they can't travel, so everything seems super boring, but there was not really any reason given as to why they had to not do the day part of the date. Like Claire just came in after making them sit around all day and was like, "We're just gonna do the
Does
cocktail
Claire seem
party."
kind of lazy to anybody
of
else with
more
these dates
quality
and
time.
hanging out with guys?
Yeah.
Like, I feel as if she suddenly has a bad attitude as
It
far
was
as hanging out with them.
bizarre, and I know Deanna came in for a hot sec. A friend of Claire. She was the Bachelorette, and she just continued to talk more
About
Dale.
Dale.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just a lot of Dale.
And then went on to the group date to talk more about Dale. What did you guys think of the major make-out sesh between Dale and Claire to start the date, and the group hug, the group hug to start the date?
That was mean. I thought that was mean of Dale to do a group hug. Be like, I am
was.
so far ahead of these guys
Yeah.
that I can organize a
ego
group
through
hug
the
and
roof.
it's fine.
Yeah.
A group
Yeah,
hug and
he-
it's totally fine.
Emasculated all of them with
Yes.
that group hug.
Completely.
It was embarrassing
He's
for
also
those
the
boys.
tallest one, so I feel like it makes it
He's like-
even worse. Like
he's
he's like,
like,
come
"Come
on,
on,
kids, come on, guys,
Come on,
exactly,
children."
exactly that.
Honestly,
It's awkward.
I was rooting for them to have sex because I feel like that would have really blown up the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was like, you know what? You guys are already making out, dry humping all over the place. Just do it. Just do it. But
Do we
then
think the dry humping was a little much tonight with Claire's
Claire
like
literally
entire
was like, "You're
asshole
so
out?
perfect,"
It's
like
yes,
screaming in his
all of that.
face.
Claire's horny. She's horny.
She's so horny, but
Dry
like I
humping
didn't need to
comes when
see
you're
her
horny.
entire asshole. Like I know that I did.
Yeah.
I know I saw that on TV. I know that people are gonna tell me that I didn't, but I know for a fact that I did, and I wish that I did not.
Well, it
I'm
was
upset.
kind of just like there's a whole group of guys out there.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
So much so, who had to come
So
knocking?
rude.
Was it Easy?
Easy.
Easy came
yeah.
knocking. I felt bad for him while Claire and Dale are just going
And the
at
one
it.
guy
like,
was like,
teasing
"Welcome
each other.
to." It felt like he was interrupting so much because not only were they all supposed to be on a date, but she was like, "Oh, welcome to my home. Here's Dale."
Yeah,
like it was
literally.
like he's already here in my home,
They-
and now you're interrupting.
Claire and Dale were on a fantasy suite date, but they didn't. They early
Yes.
on they had to have somebody interrupt them. Like, oh wait, we're still only on the 3rd episode of the show.
Yeah.
Kelly, what did you think of Claire telling the producers to speed it along? with
That
the other
was, I have never seen something so blatant in my life. And it goes back to me thinking that Claire and Dale were both hammered for that
Yeah.
situation because her going up to the producers and like slurring a little bit, like, can we just speed up this night along a little bit? And, implying like, I want to end it with Dale. That
Yeah.
is, I mean, I've never seen something like that before.
Yeah, and Rhea, how about Dale coming back again?
he
For
just
round 2, interrupting again, and the bathroom. He went to the bathroom.
Ugh.
that whole sequence pissed me off because first of all, with the Easy situation, they're giggling like two schoolgirls who are keeping a secret. They're
Yeah.
like, ha, we weren't just totally banging on the bed when he walked in.
It's
Like
trash.
when two kids get parents in their room, like what happened? The TV's freaking out.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's not happening live.
Yeah.
That would be unfortunate.
Yeah.
Don't-
You guys are sorry, but we're
Yeah.
interested if you are sorry.
Sorry, that's really unfortunate, and I'm
Yeah.
distracted now. But then she's with somebody else, and all of a sudden Dale magically appears again,
Yeah.
and we're gonna get more making out. Claire's like, yeah, you can interrupt me, cool.
It's so uncomfortable.
Dale just needs to be better at explaining his feelings
Yeah.
to people, because if Dale was straight up like, yeah, guys, she wants me, then everyone would be like,
They'd all agree because
all right,
it's
yeah,
so
she
visibly
does.
true.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
like, No, I was going to the bathroom. Like,
Yeah, like
okay,
we
Dale,
we know. There's no need to
go
like, play
fuck
coy
Clare.
anymore. Yeah, we don't. You don't have to like pretend at this point. We all can see it.
I think it was Chasen who interrupted again, opening the door when Claire and Dale were making out again.
I think so.
That
too.
one might have been even worse.
Where they were,
because
like,
he
off
was
in the
like
corner.
up against the wall.
Yeah.
And they were like so close kissing.
Yeah.
And then when he opened the door, it wasn't even like they separated that much.
No.
Dale went like this and was like, "Hey man," like
Literally.
so
He's like,
She
"Oh,
crawled
whoops,
out.
my bad."
She crawled out from like underneath his armpit.
Like how
Like,
raw
that's
are
what she
her
just did.
lips at that point? She's been kissing
it.
Dale for hours.
It's insane. It's insane
Hours.
behavior. It's insane. It's not Bachelorette behavior, I will say.
And then, not shocking at all, she gives the group date rose
Hilarious.
to Dale.
Yep.
It's just like a fuck you, right?
Yeah.
Like just, oh hey guys, fuck everyone. Let me give this to Dale right in your faces. It's so rude.
An
It's so
actual
rude.
fuck you to all of them. At least last week, Dale was on those group dates and it was kind of like, oh, it's so obvious with Dale. I can't give these roses to Dale. I'll give them to other people. Not for this.
Not
one.
anymore.
How many group dates is Dale gonna go on?
Do you
Like, it's
think
just
the
how many?
I think the producers specifically are not letting her go on one-on-one dates with Dale for this reason.
Absolutely. Because
Right?
what is the point of
Like
going
the
on a
drama
one-on-one
only
date with
comes
Dale?
on the group date.
Yeah.
Right,
She
you need
already
people.
has one-on-one dates.
Right,
with Dale.
yeah, you
Right.
need like
Yes.
an audience to watch, which is the other guys watching them
Exactly.
go on these one-on-ones,
Exactly.
and it causes things to explode.
Right, like a one-on-one that's actually a real one-on-one with Dale and Claire, we would all just be like, oh
It would turn
God,
into a
it's a
sex
porn.
tape.
It's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just like,
I think they might like it. They might like, let's go into the house in front of all the guys and let's
Oh,
kiss
do you
in
think it's
front
like a
of-
cuckold thing?
Maybe.
Maybe.
That'd be
Oh
interesting.
my,
And we all saw
Claire.
the tweets this week from Claire that she was liking and how like she got a bad edit or whatever.
Yeah.
It's one thing to get a bad edit, and it's another thing to just like a guy more than the other guys and
Yeah.
talk about him nonstop. And I think that's the scenario that we're now in.
right. And now here's the situation. She is 100% talking about Dale a lot. There is the possibility that she was talking about the other guys and they're just not putting that in. Then I understand
That's
because
true.
it makes it seem like it is Dale all the time. But you can't deny watching her like on a date with other people or on other group dates and being like, I just wish Dale was here.
And there's no way she's
Seeing her face
Yeah.
say
she would
it's
be
crazy.
talking about the other guys in the way that she's talking about Dale. She's like, I miss Dale. I think he's my
Yeah.
fiance.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be my husband. Like,
Yes.
there's no way she's talking about the other guys like that. So it leads me to believe that it was just a lot of Dale
Yeah.
all the time.
And I
think she
definitely do
doesn't-
believe that she was led in this direction.
For
where it was
sure.
like,
Yeah.
hey, you like Dale, follow through with that. Because we
I
got
forget
Tayshia
who
waiting
I forget
in
who said
in the
it
car.
in the group setting. One of the guys said it, and they were like, "Who else does Claire have a connection with at all in this group?" And I think
Yeah.
that was a completely fair thing to say because I can't think of a single guy, not even in like a friend way.
Yeah.
Like she does not have a good connection with any of these people, and she doesn't want to hear any of them when they're being honest to her, like Bennett was kind
Right.
of my boyfriend. And then she doesn't. All she wants to talk about with anybody else is Dale. So like, what? Who else would she even talk about if given the
No,
opportunity?
and that's exactly where we were, and that's exactly what they wanted the audience to feel watching this Zach J date. Zach J got the one-on-one, and right away it felt uncomfortable. They're getting pedicures, but like they weren't really talking. The music they put in there made it all feel like it was moving really slow.
Zach
like they were
has
kind of
something
having a
against
poor
feet,
conversation.
something he doesn't
yeah,
like.
it just the connection felt off. So when it got to that point that we all lost our shit when Claire went in for the kiss,
oh, it was.
I think Zach,
Yeah, like what the hell happened here?
it was just this honestly a series of unfortunate events.
Yeah.
Like
it was.
it really
Yeah.
was because I think Claire was like, oh, I should give some of these guys another shot. A shot. I'm focused too much on Dale. Like, at least let me make out with some of the other ones.
Yeah.
She goes in for this kiss. He didn't pull back, but I think he was shocked that Claire went in for the full make out at this point.
Right.
Like,
For sure.
I don't think he expected that to happen at all. So he paused for a split second, and she took that as him not wanting to kiss her, and so she turned away.
Right. If you watch it back, nobody pulls away and nobody goes forward. It's
Yes.
like they get
Yeah.
frozen in time.
Yeah.
Yes, and then she's
Because
like,
they're both
she
confused
freaks
about
out.
how this date is actually
it's the classic
going.
Yeah.
Hitch 90-10. I go 90, you
Yes.
go 10.
They
and-
went 50,
and
whatever
she,
the numbers
I mean,
are.
she went like 90 and he didn't go the 10. But I think it's because he panicked.
It was a very uncomfortable situation. Obviously, when you watch the clip back, everyone was trying to find who pulled back.
Yeah.
It did look like it was very much Clare who was the one who pulled away.
Yeah, agreed.
He didn't look like he was moving
He
forward
hesitated.
at all, though,
Right.
which was probably because he was shocked. I think that the most uncomfortable part, though, after was he kept grabbing her,
her.
Yes,
which was
that
just
was weird.
really
That's
uncomfortable.
why he was
like,
sent home.
all right.
He did an
you
around
guys
the neck
missed, you didn't
situation.
kiss.
It's not good.
That was
The
a
kiss
weird.
didn't happen,
yeah,
but now
that was
you're
weird.
grabbing her neck,
Yeah.
and it's a little too much. It's a little aggressive, and we don't like that.
It's
Yeah.
super aggressive, and Clare has been very open about her past relationships and being in that kind of abusive relationship where I would assume that's either very triggering for her or she just has zero tolerance. She's like, that as soon as that happened, I'm done, I'm out.
Sure.
Because he got ready to go to the dinner and she didn't even show up. Chris Harrison came out and said, look, man, Claire's not coming, which means you're not getting this rose, which means you're going home right now.
Disappointed dad Chris Harrison
So
is
disappointed.
tough scene for Zach J.
Yeah.
We're
really
seeing a
is.
lot of Chris Harrison having to break news to people and other people going home before a rose ceremony. Like, have we seen this many people go home before a rose ceremony before? I feel like people are getting kicked
don't
off
think
left
so.
and right. And there are, we say it, but there are no rules. Literally, this season has zero,
There
none
hasn't been a
whatsoever.
single
They're
rule.
not following anything traditionally,
No. Yeah.
which makes for a great episode. The episode
So
was
good.
fantastic.
Yeah.
I have a question
But
for
there's
you
a
guys.
lot going on.
Yes, Kelly.
Do you think that it was a little immature of Claire to not bring up the fact that she felt maybe we might be jumping to conclusions with this
Right.
whole grabbing situation, but
Right.
it was a little weird, and she does have this past.
Yeah.
Do you think it's immature of her to not have stopped and been like, oh, listen, I'm sorry, I'm anxious, I freaked
Yeah.
out a little bit, let me explain to you what just happened to me, versus I just don't even want to talk about it, I don't even know what it was, I don't want to talk about
Right.
it, and then sending Chris Harrison to do her dirty work. I think that is kind of fucked up.
It's-
Despite whatever happened to you in your life, you can't expect this man to know that about you.
No, and he probably did not know that, and you would hope that they could have that conversation because it maybe would turn into a teaching moment for Zach J. But
Totally.
also, if Claire is uncomfortable in that situation, that's the decision like she's gonna make,
Right.
Yeah.
She's just pissing me off in general, besides this whole situation, is because now after this, we see the roast and everyone's picking on Dale, and now she just can't stop defending Dale, and everybody's just trying
Yeah.
to make jokes in which she says, oh, I love jokes, I love people who can take jokes, I love a good roast, but when it comes to roasting Dale, it's not okay. And then she gives on this whole spiel, like, oh, I love somebody, that's why I came on this show, is to love somebody, isn't this what it's about? You haven't given anybody a chance, and just sending that guy home like that is kind of proof that she's not really giving people chances. They're just being sent home left and right.
Agreed.
So, something that these guys brought up before the roast too, which I think played a big part in the roast, and that I keep forgetting, is that they were all cast for so long. And they were all like quarantined, they all heard the rumors that we all heard, And so when Zach C had said there were rumors that Claire and Dale were speaking beforehand, it's kind of interesting that they all know that.
Yeah.
Which
And that's
I
something
feel
they
like
definitely talk about in the house.
Of
For
course.
sure.
Yeah.
And
For
I'm sure
sure.
that plays a major role in all of them being very uneasy with what's happening with Dale. But it almost felt like Claire did this roast and invited the other guys to be in the audience so that Dale could somehow also be on this date.
For sure.
Absolutely.
And they all went out on Dale, and some of it was funny, some of it was not. Bennett was the highlight. And Trent, I would just like to ask you if you have an official
Precious angels.
statement on Bennett.
I like Bennett now.
Okay.
I like him
Yeah,
now.
you do.
I'll
Yeah,
tell
you
you why, and I have
do.
my reasons because I did not like him at the beginning. Obviously, everybody knows.
Yep.
I just thought he wouldn't be friends with me. He'd spit at me if he saw me on the street. But what he showed tonight was a level of self-awareness that I did not know he possessed, which I like. I like someone who can look at themselves and make fun of themselves, and he's like, oh, I'm the Harvard rich guy that everybody makes fun of. I'll switch right there and be your friend, because I think that's a great attribute to have, self-awareness.
Yep.
So if he's gonna make fun of
1000%.
himself, and he fucking roasted Dale,
Yeah,
which was
zing,
great.
baby.
He really
Dropped
did.
the mic.
Zing and a mic drop.
Yeah,
Big
mic
time.
drop. So I'm now on Team Bennett. I never thought I would be here, but show self-awareness, and I'm on your team.
Yeah.
That's just the way it goes.
And it is crazy to me that all of these guys, because I do like a majority of these guys. And the fact that all of these guys were asked straight up by Clare over and over. She's asking all of them the same questions, like, did Dale say he's the front runner? Why are you guys saying Dale's the front runner? Constantly asking about Dale. And none of them said anything. Mostly all of them were like, hey, can we maybe like talk about us? Like, we haven't had this situation before. Normally somebody cracks.
Do you think that she was just so truly jaded into thinking that everyone in the house just loves Dale so much that they couldn't possibly have anything bad to say about him? So when they all roasted him at once because he's been a snake the entire time, she was so taken aback and couldn't believe it, and that's why she just asked them every single time.
And because she doesn't like any of them.
No, I think that she was just excited
also
to
that.
talk.
She straight up doesn't like any of them.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that she was just excited to talk about her and Dale. Like, the
I think so,
jokes
too.
and them making jokes. Yeah, she thought it was mean, but on the inside, she was giddy that they were talking about her wedding with Dale. And she was so happy to just, oh, what were those things you were saying about me and Dale? Like, she just wanted to keep talking about her and Dale. She wasn't actually mad at the jokes. She just doesn't want to focus on anybody else. So why not sit here because I have to talk to you? Why not just bring up Dale?
Or she's like, oh, you guys see it too. You guys see our connection.
Yeah.
You see it.
Definitely.
So, oh, that's why you guys keep bringing it up. It's not just me.
It's fueling a fire inside that she's excited about.
Right.
I know it. She's got to be excited about it.
Definitely.
She cared about that conversation and what was going on so much, also because clearly Dale is the front runner, and clearly she thinks of him in that way, where she literally called him her fiance. She was like, why are they roasting my fiance like this?
Yeah, why did she say fiance? That was weird.
I don't know. It's
I don't
so
like that.
It's so crazy. She wanted this information.
We're not spending enough time on that. She called him.
Yeah, she called
just like not even like a slip of the tongue. It came so
him.
naturally. She was like, my fiance.
Like her fiance. Like
Where's the ring,
reaching
baby?
a
What are you talking about?
crazy level.
Yeah.
Literally,
It's like
what are
it's
you
over.
talking about?
It's a wrap.
She's already said she was falling in love with him. She calls him her fiance. She clearly sees Dale being at the end, so much so that she couldn't even fake give out a rose on the group date. She asked all of these guys to talk about Dale the entire time. And all of these guys had the right responses, saying like, hey, we are just trying to build some kind of connection with you. Why aren't you doing any of that?
Yeah.
And she doesn't give any of them a rose.
Yeah,
None of them.
Nobody.
That was the most off-putting part to me, where I don't think I like Claire any longer, where she was bringing the guys to her and then basically interrogating them about Dale, about her. That's like, all right, now you're not even trying to get a connection with these other guys, so just leave with Dale, go on your merry way, and let's bring somebody else in, because you're clearly not taking in these other guys seriously.
It was what Rhea said before. It's just incredibly hypocritical of her to be like, hey, let's roast everyone, let's have fun, and then they roast Dale, and she's like, none of you get a roast.
She was like, oh, my poor little
Just so
Dale.
ridiculous.
You haven't given anybody a chance to give them a rose. Like, actually, you are now the villain, Claire. You're the villain of this season.
Right. She's become Juan Pablo. Woohoo.
Oh, goodness.
There it is. Like, she has become. Like, that came out of my mouth. I didn't even hear it coming out of my own mouth. But she has. Has she not? Everyone hates her. What other season has everybody revolted? Only Juan Pablo season, herself included. Why is she acting like this? I'm off my rocker about it, to be honest.
It's hard because I really want to defend Claire. Like, I really want to defend Claire, but it's just incredibly hard to do that when it's so clear that it's hard, because the feelings for Dale are there. She's already found it, but it's like, you signed on to be on this show, to have this role as the Bachelorette. You gotta play along a little bit.
Right, and I'm honestly tired of going back and forth in my head and being like, well, maybe the editing is bad, and maybe Claire just looks bad. Fuck that. What I'm seeing is that I don't like Claire, and I don't like Dale, and I'm sick of this, but it's also amazing TV.
So good.
And I'm loving it, but honestly, really not a fan of Claire. Straight up, not a fan. Not really liking it. It's too much for me, and I am all for, like, self-love. Yes, you should love yourself, Claire. Yes, you should be an independent woman who does not need anybody, and you fight for yourself, and you're strong, you're brave, you're beautiful. All of those things are true and are possible, but that doesn't give you the right to be just mean to people and just rude and not care and disrespectful.
Yeah.
And right, exactly.
That's a good word for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she doesn't give anyone a rose. We already were given a heads up that the end of this was going to be insane. You know, Chris Harrison, Robert Mills, they're
Specifically the last 10 seconds,
Yes.
we were told.
exactly.
So we waited.
That, hey, get ready, not the last 9 seconds.
Yeah.
And they delivered because we all thought we were going to see Tayshia come out of a limo. Think again.
Nope.
She's coming out in a bikini. She's coming out of the pool.
Yep.
She looks hot.
Just a goddess from the sea.
we
Look
already
how
know
big
look
she
at
is.
her
Her
just-
boobs right
Oh
now.
my god!
I mean,
Look,
She looks so good.
Tashia's one of the
Wow.
hottest people to ever be on this show.
she looks like she has a filter on her
And
face, like, and it's just her face.
It's just,
It's pissing me off.
it's incredible. And you know,
She looks amazing.
and I'm sad because they're teasing it now. I don't think we're actually going to see Tayshia until the end of next week's episode.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like I think it's going to be whatever the
Claire still
all
has
the way
to
at
leave.
the end.
She's, you know, maybe Tashia's at La Quinta.
She's got to
but
leave. We got to find out what
Claire's
happens
gotta
with
pack her
Dale.
bag,
Like, there's
yeah.
a lot of shit that's got to go down. These
Yeah.
guys are ready to stage a coup. Let's like they're
Mutiny.
ready to.
Yes, they are.
Mutiny.
They
Mutiny.
literally
Listen.
are mutinying.
Claire's
I thought
about
they
to
were
walk
all-
the plank.
Yes.
I thought they were all losers, but I'm like rooting for them at the same time.
No, me
like I
too.
look at them and I'm like, you guys are really just like not my type, but I'm rooting for you guys. Like, let's go.
They're a good
let's
group of guys, I
walk off
think.
this show.
I'm just picturing
Claire
like
sucks right now.
Yeah.
I'm picturing all the guys at like the gates of La Quinta, like with Claire and her bags, like walking out, and they're like,
Yeah. And Tayshia passes her
Yeah, yeah,
as they
yeah.
walk in. That would
Passes,
be great.
passes a literal baton
Exactly.
as they go by.
all right,
They're yours now.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Let's take some questions.
Oh, I didn't even tell. Let's write it
Let's
there.
take some questions
Taking
because
questions.
Taking a couple cues.
we've been talking for a lot. Like I said, there was so much to talk
It
about.
was jam-packed
this
tonight.
episode.
We needed to
It's
extend a little bit longer. It's our
insanity.
usual 30.
But we are at that time.
The first,
where we
yeah,
take
this tonight really
some
made up
questions
for
from
the
Bachelor
first two
Nation.
episodes, I thought. First two
Agreed.
episodes were okay. Tonight was better than those combined, by far.
It'll be hard to top tonight. I think
Agreed.
next week will probably be
Yeah.
equal, if not better. I'm
Yeah.
worried after that. I'm a little.
Well, the thing is does this almost hurt Tayshia?
Yeah.
Because if she has like somewhat of a normal season, everyone's gonna be like, this is boring.
Yeah, honestly,
point.
could be. That is a good point, Fran. We'll have to wait and see. I
Yeah.
guess.
Is it going to be the opposite of a usual season where it's like kind of boring, then the end pops off? Is the beginning popping off and the end's going to be like,
Yeah,
love story,
yeah.
we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Whatever. First question: do we think Dale is going to propose to Claire?
No.
No.
I don't think Dale and Claire at this moment in time, October 27th, 2020, are still a couple.
Why do you say that? Because you were saying that while we were watching the show, too.
I just don't think, like,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
agree with
think
you.
they established any kind of like real relationship in the 10 days that they knew each other. I feel like it was kind of a crazy infatuation. And Dale's been in New York. He's all around New York City. Maybe they're hiding or out somewhere, but I don't know. I feel like
I haven't seen a single. I think we said this on like the first episode, wondering if they're even still together.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a single paparazzi photo, even of
Yeah.
like him with a woman in a bad wig or something.
Right,
You know, like normally
right.
you at least get something, but
I don't know. I don't
No.
think
Yeah,
so.
I would say no as well.
Do we think Claire and Tayshia will speak? Good
Yes.
question.
That is good. And I'm going to say yes.
I do think so.
I think they'll do like an exit interview type deal.
agreed.
When, as
Oh,
Claire's.
I didn't even think
you
about
think
I hope
that
she
in the
cries, like Claire,
Yeah.
like,
Possibility.
really like
Here's
passing the baton.
Here are the mistakes that I
Yes.
made on this show. Don't make the same
Like,
mistakes
and
I
take
made.
care of Ben because he's a really sweet soul. And oh, make time
That
to talk
question
to
just
so and so.
rocked my
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
I think that is going to happen. I hadn't thought
It all
about that
depends
before.
on how Claire leaves.
Yes.
Like if Claire is leaving with her head held high, okay. But if she's leaving because all these guys are like, we want a new bachelorettes, then I
yeah, maybe
don't
she might be
know.
like, deuces, fuck you.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I'm out.
Right,
Like, it could be that.
is Chris Harrison telling Claire she blew up the Bachelorette in a
Because
good
all these
way
guys
or
wanna
bad
fucking
way?
leave?
Yeah,
Yes.
like, is she crying when
Is she
Chris
crying because
Harrison
all
tells
these
her
guys
that?
hate her and they want her to go home?
It could be. It certainly
Yeah.
seems like it.
This
Very
is
possible.
honestly the total opposite outcome of what we were talking about. We were always like, oh, Claire, she's going to find love. She's 39. She's
Yeah.
on her way.
She has to.
No, this is a disaster.
They cast Claire and Bree and I were like, oh, this is perfect. They're
Beautiful.
All the drama with Peter
A laid
and
back
Hannah Brown, like they
season.
want someone to really get engaged at the end. That's why they're going with Claire.
Yeah,
Here
yeah.
we are.
Last question, final prediction. do we think it's Clare leaves and the guys stay, or the guys say, we don't want you, Clare, and they have to remove Clare and replace her with Tayshia?
I think the latter, because they show them packing up their suitcases. They keep like referencing that, and I think that that's strange. So I have a feeling that they all pack their suitcases with the intention of leaving.
Yeah.
And then maybe we have Daddy Chris Harrison coming in and saying like, hold on, boys,
Right.
wait a minute, look who I've got, and then Tayshia rolls out of a limo.
Fucking hot ass Tayshia out of the pool.
Tayshia. Wouldn't that be
I
magical?
think that it seems like the men are revolting.
They're in control.
Yeah, it feels like they
Very much
are,
so.
and that they don't want to be there anymore.
I had never thought of that being an option. I always figured Clare was just going to leave, and then they were going to bring Tayshia, and I still
Because here's the
think
thing.
that's what's going to happen.
But maybe the guys are revolting, and they want Clare to leave, and they say they're going to leave, so Clare has to leave. But Dale leaves with Clare, which is why everyone said, oh, Clare and Dale, they leave together. But it's because Clare leaves first.
So you're saying they don't leave together?
No, I'm saying like they want Clare out as the Bachelorette, and Dale's
Yeah.
like, well, I like Clare, so I'm gonna leave.
Oh,
And
it could be that.
Everybody else stays.
It could be that. Maybe they're given the option. I
Yeah.
think we'll just have to wait and see.
Oh God,
honestly.
there's so many what ifs.
There's so many what ifs.
Rhea, what do you think? You didn't answer. It's so hard
It's a
to
lot.
tell.
It's a lot.
It's really hard to tell what happens, but this is the thing. I don't want to get tricked by the promos. Of course, the guys
Right,
are
right,
packing
right.
up, and you think that they're leading a revolution outside
Yeah,
of the gates, and they're out of there.
Yeah.
But maybe it's kind of a mutual thing. Like Claire's
Right.
kind of like, I don't want to be here. The guys don't want to
Yeah.
be there.
Could be.
Dale's
Definitely
like,
be
I want to
mutual.
be with Claire. I can't see them
Mutual makes the most sense.
Yeah.
really blowing up Claire's spot like this. Like, if they do, that kind of
Also-
sucks badly for Claire. If they're like, don't even try to edit it like the guys wanted to say. Like, they're
Yeah.
straight up like, the guys want to leave, Claire, you're done.
I mean,
You're
we've
done
got
here.
like oldest
We're actually
Bachelorette. Why all of
firing
a sudden
you.
are we good?
Yeah.
We're firing you as the Bachelorette.
It
If
also
that
seems
ever
like
she's getting
happened,
fired.
It also might set a bad precedent for seasons going forward, where the guys or the girls, depending on what season, they can just be like, we don't like this one, get a new one.
Yeah.
We don't like this guy.
Oh,
we don't
sorry,
like this girl.
we all
Get
thought
it.
it was
It's true. Very true.
Ari, right? What was the season? Ari was after Rachel, right? I think because
Yes,
everybody wanted to
yes.
be Peter from
Exactly.
Rachel's season
Yes.
and ended up being Ari.
Yeah.
Like it's like the girls show up and they're like,
Like, who the fuck is
Ari,
this guy?
we wanted
we
Peter,
haven't,
get
we
the
haven't
fuck
seen for
outta here.
10
Yeah.
years.
I
Like,
don't think you can give the inmates that much power in the asylum.
Yeah.
I think Claire ends up leaving.
Yep.
I think that's what it's going to be.
all right, guys, last moments of the evening. We are giving out a rose and we are cutting someone's stem. Trent, I'm going to start with you.
All right. Well, the stem that I'm cutting is Yosef. I'm going to cut
Yeah.
that stem just because
Yeah, see you
he's
later.
Yosef. I don't, good riddance, but it feels good to cut his stem, get
Yeah.
him out of there. And I'm going to give my rose to Bennett. I'm going to give my rose to
Wow.
Bennett. Him and
that's so
I,
sweet of
yeah.
you.
Yeah.
That is sweet.
Him and I have
I'll
really
let
come
him
a
know.
long way, so I figured I'd have to give him the rose.
Maybe there's a future of Bennett. If Bennett, we got to contact Bennett. Maybe we
Yeah.
can get him in
Oh,
studio.
Maybe him and
Oh,
I.
Fran.
Yeah.
Don't say no more. I would
love-
literally text him
I
later.
would love nothing more than to walk the high line with Bennett. So if
Okay.
he wants
Wow.
to do
Oh,
that,
That's
that'd be nice.
beautiful.
Wow.
Kelly?
Wow. I'm sorry. I'm a little teary-eyed
Yeah,
over the thought of Trent like walking around the High Line with Bennett without me, which is
Yeah.
fucked up, but whatever. I'm going to give my rose to, I'm actually going to steal it from a tweet of yours, which is to the cameramen who had, or women who had to film Claire and Dale making out for the entire, however long that was.
They just had no idea what they were getting into.
No idea.
in
Just
the room
on,
for like
like
an
you
hour,
shoot
just-
Claire and Dale, and
Yeah.
literally just having to shoot them making out, and like all that awkwardness, and to be a part of it with a big bulky camera. I can't imagine something more awkward and more horrifying.
Yep.
Yeah.
My stem, I was originally going to cut Dale's stem because I hate him, but I think unanimously we all hate him at this point, mostly except for Fran.
I'm in between.
I am instead going to just reach onto the ground and pick up Claire's stem from last week and like continue to chop into it because I'm over Claire and I am still mad about it.
Yeah.
So like continue.
You deserve this stem
Yes.
cut because last week was like a shocking
Yeah.
Claire stem cut.
She really
So
deserves it
one-
this time. Yeah, she really deserves it this time.
Rhea?
I can't change my stem cut. I'm cutting Claire's stem as well.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't
You
change
got it.
that. I really don't like her.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We can feel it.
It's,
Yeah, we know.
My blood is boiling.
Let it out,
And
girl.
I'm going to give my rose to Riley. I like Riley.
like
That's
Riley.
nice.
We like Riley.
That's nice.
That is
Riley
nice.
is
Riley
nice.
deserves it.
That's the only rose with one of those guys is gonna get. So
Yeah.
like it's the only
Yep.
connection they're gonna have.
Riley
Riley's
really
great.
deserves the rose for just being a stand-up guy, standing up for what he believes in, not sitting there and shutting his mouth, telling it like it is, and he seems like a nice guy. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna give mine to Riley.
Amazing. All right, I am giving my rose to Claire's golden retriever because that poor dog
good
had to
one.
be in the middle of that situation.
True.
And,
Very true.
that was very unfortunate for the
Traumatic
dog,
for a
and I
pup.
would just like to make sure that the
Aw.
dog
Yes.
is okay.
Look at him.
Can't believe. All
His
right.
head's down. He's so sad. He's like,
I
I can't believe I
mean,
gotta
just
be
he
a part of
doesn't.
this.
Yeah.
He, she. I'm unsure, but doesn't know what's going on. So, I just would like to protect Claire's golden retriever.
Of course.
I am cutting. Oh man, it's hard. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait because Claire has done some things, yes, but I just gotta cut Yosef Stem.
Yeah.
I do.
Feels
I
good.
just-
It's time.
I don't like one thing about that guy, and I don't like the way he handled it, and I'm glad he got exposed on TikTok.
As am I.
Yosef's such an afterthought to me that I can't even think about cutting his stem. Like,
We didn't
I
actually
felt that way
talk about the TikTok thing on here, I don't think. Did that come out?
Yeah, by the way,
between last week
Yosef
and this
got
week?
exposed on TikTok
Yeah.
for basically
Just say it.
messaging girls on Instagram like New Tyler C had said, and then was messaging a girl, got invited, they hang out the whole thing, and then he accidentally sent a Snapchat of him jerking off to the girl instead of the other girl that
The
it was
other
supposed
girl
to
that
do.
it was
Classless.
meant for, yeah.
Real,
classless.
real tough for those receipts to
Proud
come out before this
father
episode.
Yes.
That's
behavior.
just
Very tough.
Yep.
you hate to see that.
Very tough.
You
Trying
really
to
hate
stand
see
on
that.
his
Can't
high
have that.
horse. Give me a break.
You hate
All
to
right,
see
well, that wraps up this episode of Cutting Stems, the after show. We will be back same time next week. Get your Owens mixers ready to go because we are just one step closer to Tayshia, people.
One step,
I can't wait.
day by day.